This is a loan repayment schedule, or again what we refer to as an amortization. Its main work is to show you exactly how much you are going to be paying periodically based on the three things. The first thing that will be considered in this case is the rate of interest at which you are going to pay on a yearly basis. Then something else is the amount of money that you have taken. Then the third thing is the period within which you are going to pay back this money. For example, someone who has taken 100,000, you can see in the first column in this case, the first row in this case, someone has taken 100,000 to be paid back within 6 months on a monthly basis at an interest rate of 18% per year. Now, 17,552.52 is the amount that is going to be paid on a monthly basis for the next 6 months. Then this is what this person is going to be paying for the same amount of money for the next 12 months. For 120 months, that is 10 years, you can see this is the amount of money that person is going to be paid for the same amount of money, 100,000, for 18% per annum. Now, what I want us to look at here today is exactly how to generate or how to model this particular amortization schedule. I know that sometimes you may be having different figures and you may be wondering how exactly to know what amount of money you are supposed to pay on a monthly basis or periodically. And from there, you are also able to know the amount of interest you are going to pay on that loan. So step by step, guys, make sure that you stay with me up to the end because I am going to use Excel to model this. And if you stay with me up to the end, you will never have any other problem modeling an amortization schedule and also monitoring the status of your loan. And you will also be able to understand whether you are making any profit with the loan that you are taking or you are not making any profit. So let me delete this. So before you start, ensure that you have this column. The first column, we have the amount of money that someone can take. Mine is from 100,000 to 10 million. Then the period, mine is from 6 months to 120 months. You can always input any figure that you want. Then something else that you will ensure that you have put is the rate of interest. Yes, but this is the rate of interest converted into decimal. Now, the very first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to type into that cell, then equal sign. There is a function that we use whenever we are modeling an amortization schedule, and that is what we call the PMT. First, let us see what a PMT does. And from this explanation, you can see PMT calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. Yes, now the interest rate has to remain constant for the whole life of that loan. And also the payments will also have to remain constant. That means that these installments that are going to be paid are going to remain constant for the rest of the period of this loan. Now, let us type there and see the argument that we have there. The first argument you can see in this case, it is the rate. It is the rate of interest at which this loan is being lent out or at which we are borrowing this loan. So I type into that because that is the rate. Then I have to log in that particular cell. That is what we call the absolute cell reference. I have to lock it so that when I move uh, across these rows and columns, that particular cell is not going to move. It is going to remain static. I type comma, then the second one is the number of periods. The number of periods are at the top. You can see the 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, up to 120 months. These are the number of periods. So I'm going to type, I'm not going to type, I'm going to click into cell that has those number of periods. Then again, the first one I had applied absolute cell referencing. The second one I'm going to apply mixed cell referencing. So I'm going to press on F4 key. Yes. So that dollar sign is supposed to be in front of that particular cell, then comma. Then the last argument in this case, the last argument that has to be mandatory is the present value. The present value is the amount of money we are being given at the moment. Now, the present value simply refers to the amount of loan that we are taking. So in this case, it is the first cell. And again, I'm going to apply mixed cell referencing just to ensure that it is not going to move when we are moving across these cells. So the dollar sign is supposed to be in front of the cell. Then I'm going to type that. But before I proceed, there's one thing that we're not supposed to forget. The 18% is the rate per annum, but here we are talking about periods in months. So I'm going to divide that interest rate by 12. Yes, divide that cell by 12, then just click equal sign or enter. There is something that you can see here. The amount has been returned is correct, but it has been returned as a negative amount. The negative amount has been returned because of the function PMT. PMT, the negative amount, because whatever the installment that are going to be inside here, these are the cash outflows from our pockets. You are the person who is paying this loan, you are losing this money, or rather you are giving away this money. So that is why the PMT function normally returns the negative value. Now for us to make it a positive value, we are going to multiply the whole function and the whole formula by -1. So -1 times that, then enter. You can see we have everything right. Yes guys, now up to here everything is done. The only thing that we are remaining with is to copy this formula across the cells and down. Now I'm going to click on this, ensure that the plus sign is already there, then hold down on your keyboard, then just drag it across. You can see we already have figures up to that point, then again drag it down up to where we have our last value, and you can see everything is there. You can see things like this because yes, now you can see very well guys, we have our figures. There's something that we do not want to see. We do not want to see these dollar signs in front of our values. We just want them to be numbers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to where we have our number features. I'm going to click on that, then number. Then you can see that one has been removed. Again, something that we want to do, we want to remove this, or we want to reduce the number of decimal points. Yes, we have reduced the number of decimal points. The last part, we want to increase the fonts. We have increased the fonts, and this is now what we have. Very, very simple, guys. Something else that I am forgetting is to insert that. But as we insert that, let me reduce the number of decimal points. Now guys, one thing that we are going to realize, whenever I come here and change my interest rate, let me say that it is now not 18% but 15%. I'm just going to change it 15%. Then everything is going to change. You can see, let us look at the first one, it has changed. Let us go back. Let us make it 9% per annum. You can see again, the installments have changed. If it has gone to 30%, again, everything has changed. So this is how easy it is to create the amortization schedule and be able to understand how your loans are moving.